Gentlemen, stop confusing mixed signals with real interest. When a woman is genuinely into you, she doesn't whisper it. She repeats it over and over. The problem is, most men never recognize the signs until it's too late. Women communicate interest through patterns, not big declarations, because their emotional expression is rooted in consistency, subtlety, and depth, rather than loud gestures or dramatic confessions. When a woman is genuinely drawn to someone, she rarely announces it directly, especially in the beginning. Instead, she allows her actions to speak for her, revealing her interest in small but repeated ways that gradually form a clear emotional pattern. These patterns are deliberate, intentional, and often deeply revealing if a man knows how to pay attention. A woman will express interest in layers, each layer becoming more evident as she feels safer, more comfortable, and more connected with the man she's investing in. You can see it in the rhythm of her communication, in the way she responds, in the frequency with which she initiates conversation, and in how she remembers things that matter to you. Her interest is encoded in her consistency, not in a single moment or grand gesture. The truth is that women rarely risk emotional vulnerability all at once. They reveal it slowly, patiently, hoping the man who is meant to understand will recognize the patterns they are trying to show. When a woman is interested, one of the first patterns you'll notice is her emotional attentiveness. She becomes more present in your conversations. She listens with intention rather than obligation. She pays attention to your energy, your expressions, your tone, and even your silence. And she mirrors your emotions not as a performance, but as a natural response to her growing emotional investment. She will remember the smallest details. Your favorite drink, the story you told once, the things that stress you, the dreams you casually mentioned. Women don't store this information for everyone. They store it for the man they care about. It's not about the information itself. It's about the value she places on you and everything connected to you. The more she remembers, the more she cares. And the more she cares, the more her behavior reveals a pattern of emotional involvement rather than a passing interest. Another pattern women show is consistent effort that may seem subtle on the surface but is powerful beneath it. She replies thoughtfully. She checks in with you even on days when she is busy. She engages in conversations that go beyond small talk. She doesn't let the connection fade or rely solely on your initiation. Instead, she adds her own energy into the dynamic. This consistency is her silent way of saying, "You matter to me." Women don't consistently pour effort into someone they aren't interested in. They don't create time, emotional space, or mental presence for men who mean nothing to them. So when she repeatedly shows up through messages, calls, support, curiosity, or gentle emotional nurturing, it reflects a deeper interest that she may not verbalize directly. There is also a shift in her emotional openness. A woman who is attracted will slowly let you into her inner world. She will share her vulnerabilities, her stories, her fears, and her dreams, but she will do it gradually, testing the safety of the space you provide. She will ask deeper questions, wanting to understand your personality, your values, your experiences, and your emotional makeup. This movement toward emotional intimacy is not a one-time gesture, but a repeated pattern that shows she wants a deeper bond, not just surface-level interaction. Repeated emotional effort is the strongest sign she's genuinely into you, because it reflects a level of consistency that cannot be faked, forced, or maintained for someone she doesn't truly care about. Interest can be momentary, attraction can be temporary, and gestures can be performed once or twice without much meaning. But when a woman keeps showing up emotionally again and again, that's when you know her feelings are real. Emotional effort is not just about texting, calling, or checking in. It's about the way she invests pieces of herself over time. She considers your well-being, your comfort, and your emotional state. She makes room for you in her day, her mind, and her heart. She doesn't disappear when things get difficult or when life gets busy. Instead, she continues to nurture the connection because she sees value in it. Women do not repeatedly invest in men they are unsure about. Effort is energy, and energy flows where her emotions are truly anchored. When she keeps showing that effort, it means you've become a priority, not a passing interest. This repeated effort also shows up in how she connects with your emotions. She tries to understand what's going on in your mind. She notices when something is off, even if you don't say it directly. She asks questions that dive deeper than the surface. She pays attention to how you feel and tries to respond in ways that make you feel supported rather than judged. Her emotional effort might appear subtle, a thoughtful message, a comforting call, a reminder that she's there for you. But these small moments form a consistent pattern. Women who are indifferent don't maintain this kind of attentiveness. They don't monitor your emotional ups and downs, and they don't feel compelled to steady you when life gets overwhelming. But a woman who is genuinely into you naturally gravitates toward your emotional world. She learns your triggers, your insecurities, your desires, and she uses that understanding to connect with you more meaningfully each time. Another part of emotional effort is her willingness to be emotionally available. A woman who is deeply interested gives you access to her inner world, and she does it repeatedly, not just once to test the waters. She shares her thoughts, fears, hopes, and even the parts of her past that shaped her. She opens up conversations that reflect vulnerability and invites you to do the same. This kind of openness requires emotional energy, trust, and sincerity. She wouldn't offer it if she didn't feel something real. Repeated emotional effort means she is not just participating in the connection, she is investing in it. She's trying to build something meaningful instead of leaving things undefined or shallow. The more consistently she opens up, the clearer it becomes that she sees you as someone worthy of emotional investment. You'll also notice her effort in how she tries to maintain harmony and closeness with you. She doesn't allow misunderstandings to linger. She checks in when she senses distance. She reassures you when you feel uncertain. She initiates conversations that bring the two of you back into emotional alignment. This isn't because she's overly emotional or needy. It's because the connection matters to her, and she's not willing to let it fade due to silence or miscommunication. Emotional effort is the bridge she keeps rebuilding to reach you, even when it's hard. And when a woman keeps doing that repeatedly, not once, not twice, but consistently, you're not dealing with casual interest. You're witnessing genuine emotional involvement. Her consistent presence, messages, check-ins, curiosity signals emotional investment because none of these actions are accidental and none of them happen repeatedly unless a woman truly feels connected to you. Consistency is one of the deepest indicators of genuine interest, especially for women because presence requires time, emotional focus, and mental energy. When a woman keeps showing up in your life in small but steady ways, she is essentially revealing that you occupy space in her thoughts, that she feels drawn to your world, and that she values the connection enough to nurture it regularly. A woman who is unsure, uninterested, or emotionally unavailable does not maintain consistent communication. She may respond politely, she may occasionally engage, but she will not sustain a pattern. And that's why repeated check-ins, thoughtful messages, and ongoing curiosity about your day, your life, and your feelings carry so much emotional weight. They represent a deliberate investment. Messages from a woman who cares are rarely random. Even if they're casual on the surface, the pattern behind them is intentional. She reaches out not just when she needs something, but simply because she wants to feel connected to you. She might text you good morning because you were the first person on her mind, or reach out during the day because she wonders how you're doing, or message you at night because she wants to end her day with your presence. These are not grand actions, but they are emotionally revealing. A woman puts effort into maintaining communication only when she genuinely values the person on the other side. Even the frequency of her responses says a lot. She replies because she wants the interaction to continue. She engages because your messages matter to her. She doesn't let conversations die because she doesn't want the connection to fade. Her consistency is her way of saying that losing touch with you isn't something she's willing to risk. Check-ins go even deeper because they show emotional responsibility. When a woman asks how your day went, how your mood is, whether you ate, slept, or handled something stressful, she's revealing that your well-being matters to her. This is not a casual gesture. It's a nurturing instinct that activates only when she feels a bond. Women don't check in on men they don't care about. They don't worry. They don't follow up, and they don't try to relieve your stress unless there is an emotional reason behind it. If she notices when something feels off with you, if she reaches out during moments when you're quiet or distant, that attentiveness is not random. It shows she's connected to your emotional frequency. She monitors changes in your tone, your behavior, and your energy because she's invested not only in the relationship, but in you. Her presence is her way of signaling emotional closeness without needing dramatic confession. Curiosity is another major form of emotional investment. When a woman is genuinely into you, she wants to know more than your surface level details. She becomes interested in your passions, your routines, your values, your fears, and even the little habits you think no one notices. She asks follow-up questions, remembers what you say, and builds conversations around your interests. Curiosity is emotional involvement. A woman who is indifferent won't ask about your dreams, your backstory, or the things that shaped you. She won't dive deeper or seek emotional intimacy. But the woman who keeps asking, keeps exploring, and keeps wanting to understand you better is revealing that she sees you as someone worth knowing on a deeper level. Her consistent presence in your life through messages, check-ins, and meaningful curiosity is a clear reflection of emotional investment wrapped in subtle actions that, when repeated, speak louder than any verbal confession ever could. A woman only pushes a man toward growth when she truly respects and likes him, because encouraging someone to evolve requires emotional energy, patience, and genuine belief in their potential. Women do not invest this type of emotional labor in men they see as temporary, unimportant, or unworthy of long-term connection. When she pushes you to grow, it means she sees something in you that you may not fully see in yourself. She sees your strength, your capability, your intelligence, and your potential to become more than what you currently are. Women are naturally selective about where they place their emotional investment. So when she encourages you to level up, whether emotionally, personally, professionally, or spiritually, it is one of the clearest indicators that she sees you as someone meaningful in her life. Growth requires vulnerability, and she would not invite you into that journey unless she genuinely believed in you and respected the man you are becoming. This push toward growth also reflects the depth of her emotional connection. She pays attention to your weaknesses, not to criticize, but to help you overcome them. She observes areas where you hold yourself back and nudges you forward because she wants to see you thrive, not stay stagnant. A woman who respects you wants you to stand stronger in your individuality, not rely solely on her for validation. She encourages you to pursue your goals, confront your insecurities, and make decisions that benefit your future. This is not mothering or controlling. It is emotional partnership. When she pushes you toward growth, she is essentially saying, I see who you can become, and I want to be part of that journey. She believes in your potential enough to challenge you when necessary. She doesn't applaud your mediocrity or comfort your excuses because she respects your ability to rise higher. Another powerful aspect of this is the way she holds you accountable. Women who are genuinely invested do not let the men they care about fall into destructive patterns. She speaks up when something is wrong. She challenges you when you are being unfair to yourself. She calls you out when you're acting beneath your values. This isn't criticism born from frustration. It's encouragement born from emotional investment. She wants you to be the strongest version of yourself because she sees the value of that version. Her accountability is rooted in admiration. She respects your mind, your character, and your potential enough to expect more from you. She doesn't push you to change to satisfy her ego. She pushes you to grow because she genuinely wants to see you become the best possible version of yourself. A woman will also inspire growth by modeling it herself. A woman who respects you will show you what growth looks like through her own actions. She invests in her development, focuses on her goals, and strives to become better, not just for herself, but for the relationship. She elevates the standard of emotional communication, self-awareness, and maturity within the connection. Her growth naturally encourages yours, creating a dynamic where both partners evolve together. A woman would never share this journey with someone she does not truly like or admire. She wouldn't bring you into her inner world of improvement if she didn't envision you as part of her future. When she pushes you toward growth, she is not just helping you improve. She is showing that she sees a future where both of you continue rising side by side. Subtle attention to details reveals deeper attachment because it shows that she is not just hearing you, she is absorbing you. Women don't remember everything. They remember what matters to them. When a woman is emotionally drawn to a man, her mind naturally begins to store tiny pieces of information about him that others overlook. These small details become emotional markers that show how closely she pays attention. Maybe it's the way you take your coffee, the kind of music you listen to when you're stressed, the way your voice changes when something bothers you, or the little habits you don't even think she notices. To most people, these details seem insignificant, but to a woman who is deeply attached, they matter because you matter. By remembering the small things, she is revealing that she values you enough to study you, understand you, and connect with you on a level that goes beyond surface attraction. This subtle attention also shows up in how she responds to your emotional cues. She notices when you are quieter than usual or when something seems off, even if you try to hide it behind your usual calm. She senses your mood shifts, not because she's guessing, but because she has paid attention long enough to understand your emotional patterns. A woman who is deeply attached doesn't need you to spell out your emotions every time. She observes your tone, your pauses, your expressions, and your energy. Her intuitive responses aren't accidental. They come from genuine emotional investment. When she checks in on you at the right moment, when she comforts you before you even ask, or when she reacts to your feelings without needing an explanation, it's because she has been silently studying all the small things that make you who you are. Her emotional sensitivity toward you is built on the details she has gathered over time. Her attention to details also appears in the way she adjusts her behavior for you. She remembers what makes you uncomfortable and avoids doing it. She notices what brings you joy and tries to bring more of it into your life. She notes what triggers you and becomes mindful of it. These adjustments aren't made to impress you. They come naturally because she cares. Women don't personalize their actions for men they don't feel attached to. They don't sacrifice comfort, predict your needs, or adapt to your preferences unless they see emotional value in the connection. When a woman remembers, for example, how you like your space respected, how you prefer to communicate, what soothes you, or even the topics you avoid because they remind you of difficult experiences, that is a reflection of emotional closeness. She studies you silently and adjusts naturally because her heart is involved. Even the way she participates in conversations shows deeper attachment. She recalls things you said weeks or months ago. She brings up topics you mentioned once in passing, and she connects current conversations with something from your past. This shows she listens not just to reply, but to understand. A woman who doesn't care will forget everything except what benefits her. But a woman who is emotionally bonded stores information because she wants to build a stronger connection. Every memory she keeps is a piece of emotional investment. She pays attention to your dreams, your fears, your habits, your opinions, and your stories. And she holds on to them because those details create a clearer picture of who you are. Her mind naturally organizes these pieces because her heart is involved, and that is why subtle attention to details is one of the most powerful signs of deeper attachment. If her signals repeat, it's not confusion, it's confirmation of her feelings, because women rarely waste emotional energy on someone they do not genuinely care about. One-time gestures can be accidental. Occasional kindness can be part of her nature. A single moment of warmth can be situational. But when the same behaviors, the same emotional cues, and the same patterns appear over and over again, that is intentional. A woman may not confess her feelings openly, but her consistency exposes the truth she is too cautious or shy to say aloud. Repetition is not a coincidence. It's a reflection of emotional certainty. Every signal she sends, whether it is attention, softness, curiosity, effort, or presence, becomes more meaningful when it keeps happening. She is quietly confirming her feelings through patterns, because patterns are how women communicate genuine emotional interest. Her repetition is her way of saying, I feel something and I'm hoping you see it. These repeated signals are often subtle but powerful, especially because women tend to move carefully when their emotions are involved. She will maintain eye contact for just a moment longer, smile at you with warmth that seems directed only at you, or respond to your presence with a noticeable shift in her energy. If this happens once, it might be situational. If it happens again, it might be instinct. But if it happens consistently, it's a sign she feels something real. She may not verbalize her interest because she wants to protect her heart, or because she is afraid of misreading your feelings, or simply because she expects the man to recognize the emotional cues she is giving. Women rarely confess first. Instead, they reveal themselves through steady patterns, each signal a small window into how she feels when she's around you. Repeated signals also show up in her engagement and involvement in your life. She asks about your day not once, but often. She checks in with you at times that match your emotional rhythm. She remembers what you said days ago and brings it up in a meaningful way. She initiates conversations, follows up on your goals, encourages your dreams, and shows concern when you are distant or stressed. When these actions become consistent, they reflect emotional investment, not politeness. A woman who is indifferent will not revisit emotional topics, will not circle back to check on your well-being, and will not maintain steady interaction. Her energy naturally moves toward people she feels drawn to. So if her energy keeps returning to you, that repetition is her heart confirming what her words haven't expressed yet. Her signals repeat even in the small ways she behaves around you. She may blush when you compliment her, become more expressive when you are present, or show a softness in her tone that disappears with others. She may position herself near you, find subtle excuses to interact, or open up more each time you talk. These shifts in behavior may appear minor, but their repetition is what gives them meaning. Anyone can act differently once, But when she behaves this way every time, it's a pattern. And in human emotions, patterns reveal intention. A woman who feels nothing will not unconsciously adjust her behavior for the same man repeatedly. A woman who is unsure will be inconsistent. Only a woman who feels something real will reveal it again and again in small, steady signals that become louder through frequency. When her signals repeat, it is her way of giving emotional permission, of creating space for you to step closer without fear of rejection. She is showing you that her interest is not fleeting, not momentary, not accidental. It is growing beneath the surface, looking for acknowledgement, but still wrapped in feminine subtlety. Repetition is emotional clarity. Every time she shows the same sign, she is reassuring you without words that her feelings are stable, intentional, and quietly seeking connection.